So Beast Game Episode 5 begins with the contestants that chose to go to the island, which is 9 of them. So overall, 60 players are remaining in the Beast Games challenge, and 9 of them went to the island. So here they are. The first challenge was going to be that they were going to, well, that they're supposed to hide from these group of hunters, and that the first one found will be eliminated. So here they are, the 4 hunters. So then everybody goes and runs off, and of course they spread around to make sure that they're just running around the whole island. 952 gets in a pretty dangerous spot over here as it's close to base, but it pays off as she makes it through. Everybody else is just out and about, and eventually one of the players gets found, and it is the player who's walking around.
I see you.
All that hiding for nothing.
Tango down, number 797. I repeat, 797.
797 eliminated. So they go back to base, and Jimmy just puts her number into the fire and to signify that she's eliminated. And when they take her away in handcuffs. I don't know if that was necessary, but I think she was like the only one that they took away in handcuffs. But yes, she gets eliminated from the island. And it is now up to these 8 players. One of these 8 players will be getting the island. Now back on the safe base where the people that didn't choose to fight for the island, we had Jeremy come back, and he was just talking about what had happened recently. He'll explain it. And we also see 952 again, but just talking about the past and the little history that she has with Jeremy.
These last few days have been such an emotional roller coaster.
The preacher, he's been using Jesus and religion to kind of manipulate people.
The vibe from the city to this island is night and day.
Not far away.
Okay, so him saying that, he's basically just saying that now a bunch of people dislike him, which I can see why. I know that the people that aren't going to dislike him are the 5 that he invited, or that he managed to, through his actions, which he tries to put blame on other entities. Now only those people would find him on their good side, and everybody else is critical of him, except probably for those other people where he saved in that one game. I think it was in episode 2. But yeah, then Beast Games, they continue to add like a little bit more storyline. Well, I don't know about add storylines, but there's some narratives created where these people here, they start talking about this situation that happened in episode 3, if I remember correctly, about these 2 guys being scums, which I remember the internet was just hating on them. And they just talk about it. But from that, we then go back to the island, the people fighting for the island, and they go on to play another game, which is where there's the remaining 8 people, 2, 4, 6, 8. They each get a coconut, and then they try to throw it as close as they can to this line here without going over or without being the last 2, because 2 people are going to be eliminated from this challenge. Either people that throw it over the line, or the last 2, or any of the combination of the 2, whichever first to get eliminated. So they all each throw their coconuts, and this guy throws it over, and this guy is the last one, the furthest away from the line, and he gets eliminated. I was kind of rooting for this guy, 514. I think it said that he was like a delivery driver or something like that, so kind of like DoorDash. I could be mistaken, but it was something of like that degree, and I was kind of rooting for him, but he got eliminated here. And so then we see the 2 get eliminated, and now it's just 6 people. And then the next challenge was going to involve the people that played it safe and didn't fight for the island. And what all these people here were going to do was basically decide who was going to get eliminated by voting, and by voting one of these people, each was going to get 1 vote against any of these people, and any of these people that had the most votes, they were going to get eliminated. So their fate was going to be put on all these people, hoping that they wouldn't vote for them individually and get them out. Now, Jimmy did give them one chance to not be eliminated by saying, if you think that you're going to be the one that's eliminated, you could count yourself out. They could raise their hands and go to the yacht with all those other people and be safe, but they just wouldn't be able to fight for the island anymore. But none of them choose to go out that way. They all think that they're safe, so they all risk it, and it doesn't pay off, as one of these 2 guys was going to be eliminated, and it was unfortunately 895, which it kind of makes sense because I think he was like the biggest one in the group, and it would make sense to like vote. That's if you tell me to vote for someone, yeah, I would vote for like the biggest fake guy, because obviously you don't want that type of competition for the rest of the future games. So it does make sense as to why they voted for him. He should have played it safe. It is what it is. So Jimmy throws down his flag onto the fire, and it gets him eliminated. And then we get down to the final 5. Now, the next game, they each picked the captain, and it was going to be this guy that they picked. They ended up picking. And the game here for this one was the captain was going to assign 4 check marks into 4 of these boxes and 1 red X. And then the contestants that were not the captain, they were just gonna have to pick a box at random without knowing what was inside, and the person that got the X was gonna be eliminated. But as they're getting into the games, a special guest comes through, and Mr. Beast introduces him here.
I have a special guest, a master of deception.
So Mr. Beast is just hyping him up, you know, making everything sound good and everything.
He's here to up the stakes. You know him, you fear him.
And the one and only Lil Yachty comes out, and it's just so awkward. The whole time that Lil Yachty was here, they cut his scenes to be awkward, just like quiet and stuff. I don't know why they did that. I mean, I guess humor, but they did it so much. And then we got a little bit of drama here as number 952 wasn't trusting of the captain, and she goes ahead and picks box number 5, and we get all the contestants to come and pick, and it gets revealed as to who is the loser and who is going to be gone from the games now with this here. Either number 2 or number 3 was going to be eliminated, and it turned out to be number 2. So that's the guy that picked number 3. He's safe, but he got eliminated.
You're still in.
So he's eliminated, and it's, you know, this whole sad thing is like, damn, like I made it this far and I'm just gonna get eliminated like that. So he's super sad.
Brutal.
Saying brutal. And, you know, everybody's feeling the same. It's just like sad type of vibes. But look at Yachty. Just look at Yachty right now. Dude, bro was not chilling.
You good?
So they're sad right there. Mr. Beast consoling. He's like, damn, like I'm really out just like that.
You want to have a seat over here?
And Yachty, dude, I don't know what I don't know what Yachty's deal is, dude. Bro, it's just looking menacing. Like damn. I guess he just doesn't know how to react to this kind of situation because it's like, what the fuck, man. So then little Yachty sits next to Mr. Beast and the contestant that just lost.
I don't know.
It's like
I wanted to speak for him.
Dang, dog, it's so crazy because it's like you almost didn't even pick 2.
Yep. I don't know why you have to say that. It's just kind of like rubbing it in, but I guess that's Yachty, you know.
Pick 2.
So depressed.
Dang.
And again, he goes in again, making another extra comment.
Dang.
Goes back to the contestant being all sad. And then it cuts to Yachty trying not to laugh. It's just reminded me of that one meme of, here, let me pull it up.
And then, news, another classmate died.
Yo! Pointing with the right.
Javon described calling his dad during the shooting.
I was whispering because I didn't want the shooter to hear me and my classmates.
And then little Yachty just laughing over there.
What's going on?
Or try not to laugh out loud.
And then I told him
reminded me of this clip.
Somebody's here shooting up the school. And then he told me, he said, okay, I'm on my way.
Why your dad? Is he your superhero?
Yes.
Apparently he's trying not to laugh. Dude, when I first seen this clip, I thought it was just him like trying not to burst out crying because it was just like super emotional. But people think he's trying not to laugh, which everybody else thinks that. I mean, I could see it, but I don't know if that was really the case. But yeah, it's just the way that people use this, the way that people use this GIF or this meme now as a GIF, as a trying not to laugh. That's just what the Yachty part reminded me of. But yeah, from that, we had another elimination there. And now it's down to the final 4. And for the final 4 people, they were going to be playing or doing a challenge where it has something to do with like these boats outside. But Mr. Beast gave them an opportunity to have one of them leave by giving them an offer. And that offer was $450,000 in gold, which I guess you could transfer over to cash like after the Beast games or whatever is done. But he offered them basically $450,000 to leave the island, but if they leave the island with that asset, then they were just going to be completely gone from Beast games. They wouldn't compete for the $500,000, which if it was me, I would 100% take the $450K because it's like guarantee right there. Who knows if you're gonna make it to the 5 mil? Shit, who knows if you're even gonna make it through this one game right here. But yeah, the first person that gets to choose if they want to do that or not was the guy that picked number 1 here, which is number 457. He picked box number 1 in the prior game, so he was the first one given the offer. It's like, hey, do you want to take the cash and run, or are you going to continue to compete for the island and beast games? Which, like I said, I would just take the money here and run. Guaranteed. So number 457 has a decision to make, and he says,
I think every choice that I've made up to this has led me right here. I think I chose box 1 for a reason.
Best thing he could have said there. Like, yeah, everything that he's done has led him there. It's like all signs pointed to him just like, hey, take it. Take this guarantee. And then we get the final decision here on what number 457 was going to do.
You want to flip 450 grand?
Absolutely not. I'm taking the money.
You're taking it? You're taking it 450 grand?
Yes.
All right, it's yours.
Congrats, dude. That's awesome.
And the reason why this guy's salty is because he would have been the next person to be able to choose if he wanted to take the money or not. And he directly said, like, yeah, if you don't take the money, then I'll take the money. But obviously, we just seen that number 457 did take the 450K, which is actually kind of ironic. The numbers 457 took 450K. It's like everything was like pretty much perfect for him to take that. But yeah, with number 457 taking the money, he's now out of the games, but he got the money, but he's out now. And then we go on to the final 3. So now the final 3 get brought into this area where they were going to be playing a game that involved this golden coconut here. And this golden coconut was immunity. So one of those 3 people was going to win this game, and then with that golden coconut, they were going to hand it off to one of the other contestants and bring him to the final game with them. And the game with this one was that each of them was going to hold up a number, either 1, 3, or 5, and whichever one they pick, they will move ahead that amount of steps to the winning line. But if 2 of them pick the same number, like right here 3 and 3, then it will cancel out, and only if you pick the same number as someone else, you would not be able to move, and the other person has the potential to move ahead, while the 2 people that pick the same numbers do not move ahead. So I thought that was going to be like an intense game with like tons of lying and stuff, but it actually turns out to be something different. So with the first move, we get 135, and then they come to a realization like, hey, maybe it's better if number 952, the woman in the middle, she goes on, and then she just like picks who of us gets to go, which one of us 2 guys gets to go with her. But they came up with it by various amounts of reasoning. And one of the things with 952 was that she's actually kind of close with this guy throughout the games, because in one of the games he held the ball up. It was this one ball game where she trusted him to hold the ball up until someone else got eliminated, and then they were able to move on. So these 2 already had a connection in terms of beast games. So they start conversing, and then they all come to the decision like, yeah, well, we'll send 952 to the winner, and then she'll come up with what to do, because this guy was the one that was the captain in the check and X boxes game a couple of prior games. So yeah, she makes it to the end, gets the golden coconut, and now it's her decision to make as to who's going to move on. So just by narrative storyline, pretty much everyone is going to assume that she's going to pick this guy because they already had a connection in the past. There was almost like no reason to pick him, just unless like he was just leaving it up to Faith at that point. So she does this thing where she starts walking to the left. I don't know why. I don't know if these were added shots or they actually took place, but yeah, she starts moving to the left as if she's going to pick the guy that was the captain for the checks and X marks box game. But she then turns around and then picks 7-11, the guy who she was playing that ball game with and had trust in. Again, I don't know why she did that whole swerve thing, but either way, they move on. And the final game as to who's going to win the island was now going to be a 1v1 between these 2, as the 7 other contestants have already been eliminated. So they go on to the final game, and they each have 2 briefcases. And what happens here is that each of them have 1 deed, so like 1 contract and 1 X, and they're gonna flip it around. And after they're gonna flip it around secretly, and after they're done doing that, one of them is gonna pick as to what to bring to their table, and then the other one's gonna pick as to what to bring to their table. And if this situation happens where one of them has the deed and one of them has, if one of them has the deed and the other briefcase has a red X, they were just going to repeat it. Nobody won at that point, and they were just going to repeat it again up until one of them has 2 deeds, and the person with the 2 deeds moves on, continues to compete in the Beast games and wins the island, while the other person gets 2 red X's and they're completely out. So they start doing their thing. 7-Eleven goes first, and he does that. And then when it's 952's turn, she does the flipping too, but we don't really get to see the full aspect as to what she does, because she starts playing around with it a little bit. But I think we could probably figure out as to who's gonna win. But when they're done doing the shuffling and stuff,
That briefcase.
they start talking.
This is the official. Lock it.
7-Eleven picks the briefcase on his right, so then that's gonna be flipped over to him. And 952, they have an emotional talk here. And 952, she picks the one on the left, and they're gonna swap it out. And now was the moment of truth. What's gonna happen?
If you guys could each put a hand on each of your briefcases and open them up on my countdown when I say go. 3, 2,
So super tense
1.
and everything.
Reveal.
Here we find out. Nope. It cuts to black. And the credits. It ends there. The episode ends off on a cliffhanger. I really thought that we were gonna find out who won like right away, but now we gotta wait till next week. But that's what happens. Now, I think we can figure out who's winning. Okay, we'll just call them guy and girl. So the guy puts the red X on the left.
Am I good to turn around?
And the contract's on
Yes,
the
you
right.
are.
So red X
You're
on the
sure?
left.
You're good with this?
As far as there's no changes or anything.
Okay. All right, 952, you
Oh wait,
can
did
turn
he move
around.
it there, or is he just closing? I think he's
7-Eleven,
just
I need you
closing.
to face that way.
Okay, we're just
Same
gonna
thing.
assume that the red X
Whichever
is
one
on
you
the
want.
left. Now see, we can figure out him, sort of. Okay, wait, I just... Okay, so she has the contract on the left. So contract on the left. Okay, so now the contract is on right, on
You
the
didn't
bottom.
do much moving. How's that make you feel, 7-Eleven?
Okay, see,
Okay.
she does some flipping there.
You didn't do much moving.
Okay, so the
How's that
contract
make
was
you feel,
on the
7-Eleven?
right. But now she flips
okay.
it again, so now it's on the left. But then
What is
she,
going on?
but she's just doing this. Okay, so now I think the contract is on the left.
Are you good?
Okay, so both contracts are on the right side
you
from
may
the
turn around,
7-Eleven's
7-Eleven.
perspective. So contracts are on the right
Let's
side
have some fun. Who wants?
from 7-Eleven perspective, so closer to us. That's where that's where I think the 2 contracts are. Closer to us, our point of view. Okay, let's see what he does. So he picks the right, which has the contract.
After she picked.
Okay, so okay.
Case.
Okay, so the one on the right. Ooh, okay, so contract is here, contract is here. From my memory, contract is here, contract is here.
Case.
So they're just gonna flip these 2. They're gonna go to another game. They're gonna do another game. I don't think we're gonna get a winner right away. I think they're going to another game because they just flip contracts. But yeah, that's where the episode ends. I think they're gonna do another game. That's the prediction.